Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. A little bit of an unusual show tonight. Yep, we're coming to you live on Monday evening, getting on the air just after we just completed the Cruising for Custard up at the Culvers in Paddock Lake. And there's going to be another Cruising for Custard on Saturday, July the 30th, Saturday, July 30th. I understand the time is going to be 10:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. Again, more details. We'll have that for you soon. I had a nice turnout today. I want to thank the racers and non-racers that came out and the fans that came out and visited with us and got a look at some nice-looking machinery and picked up some credentials or information for various events that are coming up, along with some additional car shows that are going to be happening. One of the car shows is actually going to be happening Wednesday. That's right, Wednesday. It's going to be at Sandlots, which is located on Route 83, also known as 75, just north of the Wisconsin-Illinois border. And it's going to be from 5 until 9 o'clock this coming Wednesday. Just 2 days from now. It's going to be their first attempt to have a show, and we wish them well, and we might see if we can't get the Bodycraft Pace Truck or trucks there to participate in the show on Wednesday night. Also coming up on August the 9th will be the Cars and Custard, the second Cars and Custard that will be happening once again at Hartnell Chevrolet. We had one on a pretty warm day not too long ago. And Cheryl McCreary, who was with us tonight at the Cruising for Custard up at Culvers in Paddock Lake, performing. She will be at the Hartnell Chevrolet show, and she will also be at the show on the 30th back at Culvers. And Hope Lutheran Church is having their 24th annual car show. It's going to be this coming Saturday. And that is going to be at the church on Lance Drive there in Twin Lakes. They're also going to have a spaghetti and a sloppy Joe dinner, and that's free for folks that have their vehicles in the show. So we want to get you the information on that. A gentleman with a beautiful 57 Chevy that is helping to put on this show, he stopped by and saw us this evening. So glad to see him and glad to try to help out with his program. There's going to be a lot happening at Wilmot Raceway this coming weekend on and off the track. We're going to do our best to see if we can get somebody with some information on the off-track activities. But we will be talking to John Gibson, who is the voice of the NOS Energy World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. We're going to be talking to him in the second half of our program. We want to send our thoughts and our prayers to Mark Maglio and his wife and the entire Maglio family. They lost Mark's mother-in-law, Maxine Amadio. She passed away this past weekend, and services will be at Justin's Funeral Home, 222 North Rosedale Court in Round Lake, Illinois. That will be on Saturday, July the 19th. 12 until 3 with a small service at the funeral home at 3 p.m. So again, our thoughts and prayers go out to the Maglio family, and they've been great supporters of racing for a long, long time, and we certainly do want to thank them for all they've done in the world of motorsports. So want to thank our sponsors that help to get us on each and every week. And of course, we have our main one, B&L Office Furniture, our good friend Scott Carpenter that provides us with our in-home studio. He's with us each and every week, helping to support the program. And we also have, of course, Midwest Motor Coach and Olson Transportation. They do a great job and help provide the transportation for the Lake County Honor Flight. And the Lake County Honor Flight has an event coming up on Sunday, July 20th. And it's the inaugural John Davis Jr. Golf outing, memorial outing. It's Sunday, July 20th at Foss Park Golf Course. And you can become involved as a golfer. We hope a lot of you do consider golfing, or there's various other ways that you can become a sponsor as well. So go to the Lake County Honor Flights website to get more information on that event that's going to be coming up. And also, of course, all of our sponsors also include Great Lakes Dragaway, and we'll be talking to John very, very shortly about Great Lakes Dragaway and what's happening there and what happened there this last weekend, 4th of July weekend, and what's going to be happening coming up. And we also, of course, want to talk to good folks about events that are coming up there. And also, Bumper to Bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Cars. They are off for, I think, about another week or so. But the Autometer powered by Gandrud Performance Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Cars will be part of the Larry Hillerud Memorial Badger 40 for the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars this Friday night and Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway. And so I will be calling the action for the wingless cars and joining John Gibson, who is the voice of the traveling World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. So we're looking forward to a lot of fun this coming weekend. Also want to thank our good friends at the Richmond Hunt Club, or the Hunt Club of Richmond, actually. And we are going to be taking our show on the road out there sometime real soon. Also want to thank some other folks, People Architectural Group. We don't build buildings, we build people. Contact People Architectural Group if you need help with your human resources questions. They can help you out. And also, we want to thank, we just want to thank everybody that helps us get on the program each and every week. And so now to do some of that, we're going to bring John in, and we're going to talk a little bit of straight racing. And John, welcome to the program. And I'm going to have you do, as they say in the world of announcing, fill a little bit, and I'm kind of doing something to Kent on the fly, but we want to see John on the screen and not me for a minute. So John, we want you to kind of take over, giving everybody an update a little bit on what occurred at Great Lakes Dragaway.
Well, it was a hot one for sure. It was definitely a hot one on Saturday. We got in there and started to do time trials and testing at early, about 11:30 in the morning, and then the main show started with the parade of cars at about 2:30, and then after that the whole program went with the Chicago Wise Guys, Classic American Muscle Car Association, 1320s, our Bruce City Gasser group. Let's see, we had the Jets and the Chicago Wise Guys making their passes. They were really, really quick this weekend. A lot of exciting runs in the low 6-second ETs. It was pretty good. And then the Jet cars, a couple little mishaps we had with the engine blowing up in the burnout box, kind of delayed things a little bit. And we also had a Jet car, funny car, that Black Pearl that right about 220 miles an hour went through the finish line, and the body exploded and ended up in a million pieces. Luckily, the driver was unhurt and stopped the car and everything, but it's too bad because the body got destroyed. But a little bit of cleanup, and we got pretty much the majority of the whole show in before the rain started a little bit after 9 o'clock. It was getting dark out, and but all in all, it was a pretty good show. But it was a warm one. Yeah, it was a hot one, and a lot of good runs, but like I say, the couple little mishaps, but that's kind of, with some of those quick cars, things like that happen. But luckily, no injuries or anything like that. It was just a little damage, body damage that's going to have to be replaced, and an engine that's probably going to have to be replaced.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that on somebody posted that on their Facebook page, and we saw that. And again, as you mentioned, very glad that the driver's okay. That's always the main thing, is that the driver's all right. And that's the number one concern when something like that happens. Now this coming week, off tonight. Monday night's an off night for Great Lakes right away. But tomorrow night you'll be back at it, and then Wednesday, ladies' night once again, and the battle of the sexes. So we got to have our weekly update, John, on how things are going in the battle of the sexes right now.
The women are doing pretty well. Actually, Kristen, she's won a couple times. She won last Wednesday, and I think they're doing pretty good. They're turning it around, and I wouldn't be surprised if she wins it again. She's a killer on the tree and very, very consistent. And then Thursday we have our test and tune sticky Thursdays, which is going to be where we put a lot of glue on the track, and then Friday is going to be our outlaw test and tune for our Wisconsin Outlaw Series, where we're going to have a lot of glue on the track, a lot of track prep. That's a little bit more expensive for the guys that want to test and tune on that night. And then our Wisconsin Outlaw Series race is going to be on Saturday. And that's always a very exciting one with those really fast cars that are going, some of them over 200 miles an hour in the 8th mile. And then after that, we'll Sunday, we have a fun racing, and it's going to be a Harley day for anybody that wants to come out with their Harley Davidson. So the whole week is pretty busy, and it's kind of crazy during the summer season like that. Mondays are the only day off, but there's something going on pretty much every day of the week, and you never know. I think it was last Tuesday, I came out there, and I thought it's not going to be much out there, but then a BMW club came out there, and there was like a bunch of BMWs that came out there to race. So it was pretty cool.
Well, and of course, one of our buddies, Bill Fusting of Lake County Hose and Equipment, which is one of our supporters here at the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. Did he journey on out to Great Lakes over the holiday weekend, or I know he was there for the for your big event the week before?
Yeah, he was at our out of sight drags, and he also made it to the we are with our Night of Fire. He was racing with the 1320 group. So yeah, there was quite a few dragsters, altereds, and that we had quite a good variety of cars. They're a pretty good group of different cars between the gassers, muscle cars, dragsters, altereds, the 6-second door slammer, Chicago Wise Guys cars, and the Jets. So it was a good time. A lot of cars, a lot of passes down the track, but a couple little delays, but that could be expected.
Well, it was interesting. I was Kathy and I made the trip down to Chicago for the NASCAR race, both Saturday and Sunday, along with our friend Terry Strom and her son Mikey, and Jim Trado, one of the PA announcers down there, gave us a great spot, great tip, and we watched from turn 2, which is where 3 crashes happened on Saturday.
Wow.
In turn 2. On Sunday, we had a couple of more crashes there in turn 2. And just coming out of turn 2, there was a pretty good crash. But we also had the pass for the lead on Sunday afternoon, the final pass for the lead, and took place right in front of us.
Wow.
And it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a different experience. I've been to Road America, which is a permanent road course. And of course, Chicagoland is on streets.
Yeah.
The streets of the city. And it was pretty amazing. We were very fortunate and blessed. We stayed at the Congress Hotel, which overlooked the course in Grant Park. But the funny thing about it is when we came out of the Congress, even though the course was kind of right in front of us, we had to walk down about 3 blocks north to get into the to the facility. We could have gone south and gotten into where we watched from in turn 2.
Yeah.
But we would have had to walk further, according to one of the firemen that I asked. If all else fails, you ask policemen, you ask firemen, and sometimes you just ask race fans that are walking by you.
Sure. Yeah.
They have a pretty good idea of where you're going. But the NASCAR racing, it was amazing. It was different. The weather, though, because we could see it coming in on Sunday afternoon. We could see the fog rolling in.
Oh, yeah.
And we knew we had weather coming. But ironically, at the end of the race, we were kind of in the cool side. We were only 100 yards, 200 yards from Lake Michigan,
Okay.
where we were at. But on the back side of the course, which was not that far from us, the sun was out.
Yeah, crazy. Crazy
know,
with Lake Michigan. Yeah.
it was just a crazy day. It was a lot of fun. 5-star race car bodies, which just opened up their new place in Charlotte. All of the bodies of both divisions, the Xfinity and the Cup cars, are made by 5-star race car bodies
Wow.
in Twin Lakes and in Charlotte. And and in thinking of that, who makes the majority of the bodies when it comes to drag racing? Is it one manufacturer in particular, or is it different?
There's several of them, and now they're getting so, like I'm sure with the other bodies, there's carbon fiber ones, like Harry Glass is one body that I know there was a guy that had a Pro Mod Corvette and the whole body was like 50 pounds, and the reason I know that was one of my buddies was trying to paint it, and he said it was like trying to sand a wet washcloth. It was so, kind of flimsy and wanted to move around, but it's so light. There's several of them that make them and different components, different compositions between a fiberglass or carbon fiber, and that they get pretty exotic. Yeah.
Now, as far as of course, every race event is a lot of fun at Great Lakes Dragway, but any other major events that are going to be coming up in the next month or so or soon?
Yeah, like I say, we're going to have this weekend will be that Wisconsin Outlaw streetcar brawl type thing on Saturday, and the Harleys on Sunday. Then the following weekend on Saturday is going to be the Chi-Town Show and Go. That's the cars you see with usually the big 24-inch wheels, like the Donk cars. They have a pretty good showing of that. And then Sunday will be import racing. And then coming up on the 26th and 27th is going to be AMC and Mopar Fest, which will be good. There's going to be the big AMC reunion type thing downtown, and then they're going to do the drag race Saturday and Sunday between the AMCs and the Mopars. So yeah, there's, like I say, there's always something going on there, and usually the weekends are always scheduled with something full, something different, something full to do.
Well, and we had hoped to get you to come out this evening to Culver's, and I know you weren't able to make it, but there is. I don't know if you heard the earlier announcement. We're going to do another one at Culver's on a Saturday, July the 30th in the morning, 10:30 until 2 in the afternoon, and then there's another show coming up at Hartnell Chevrolet on August the 9th, and that will be a 10:30 till 1. And all these shows are free to the public. And then there's actually a show Wednesday night. They're going to try to have one at Sandlots there on Highway 83 when you're just over the border. It's their first one, and it's open to cars and motorcycles both. And so that's from 5 to 9 on Wednesday night. So we might take a stop over there as well. So just people like shows. They like getting their cars out. They just like tonight. A lot of people, some people had never seen race cars before. We had a couple of bandits that race at Wilmot. We had them there. We had one of the 1175 Sports Complex and Eatery Lightning Sprints was there. We had the 2 Bodycraft pace trucks were there. And then we had some non-race cars. Some really nice, there was a beautiful 57 Chevy, John.
Oh, yeah.
It was immaculate. And actually, it was one of the guys that is organizing the Hope Lutheran Church's car show that's going to be this Saturday, July the 12th. And I believe also this weekend is the old Scoop the Loop down Waukegan. I'm not sure if they're still doing it in Waukegan or Gurnee.
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday. So we're looking forward to a great night of racing this coming weekend at Wilmot, or 2 nights, and a lot of things going on. And of course, we've got we're trying to work something out with the folks from Build a Bed. We still want to do a challenge between the oval track and the drag racers, and we're going to see if we can't get something put together there too. So, And as always, where can folks, John, go to find out more information? And if Mother Nature decides to throw us a curveball, and you never know when she might do that, where do they go to get the latest update?
Go to the website, greatlakesdragaway.com, or another good one that's up to date more often would be the Great Lakes Dragaway Facebook page. And you could always got some questions, you could call Randy at 262-878-3783. He's usually still answering the phone. So
that's right. Yeah. Randy answers his own phone 99% of the time. So again, we appreciate you with our weekly reports, and we wish you folks all the best up there at Great Lakes Dragaway. And I know I keep saying it, I'm going to get up there, and life happens sometimes.
Yeah, I would have been out there tonight. I had to work on my car because we're going to Hillsboro on Saturday. I'm going out there for this Sanford Field showdown at Sanford Field. It's a lot of older cars, but I bring mine up there. But I found out that I know my slicks were getting a little wore out, and they were not working too good Saturday. I was spinning isn't winning, and that's what I was doing, taking off. So got a new set on the wheels. I'm going to have to clean the car up and put them on there and get it ready for the rest of the season here.
All right. Sounds good, John. Well, again, we appreciate your reports. Always good chatting with you. Wish everybody the best at Great Lakes, and the best to you this coming weekend. We'll be looking forward to next week. I'll let you know for sure which day we're going to do it next week. We've got a couple of things we're looking at. We're probably going to be back to next Thursday.
Okay.
But I'll let you know for sure. Thanks a lot, John.
Sounds good, Mike. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you. Take care. God bless, John. John Reidenbach with our weekly update from Great Lakes Dragaway. Of course, a couple more folks that help us out. MLS Auto Clinic, who now last Tuesday dedicated the Honor Flight starter stand. We certainly do appreciate that, and appreciate all the help from Eddie and Debbie Boyd and their involvement in the Honor Flight flag stand. Also, we had BJ, who was there last Tuesday, BJ Johnson, who has gone on the Stars and Stripes flight. Myself has been a guardian on the Lake County Honor Flight, and it's just great that we've got that flag stand now that's out there in front of everyone, and hopefully a lot of folks that have veterans that have never been on an honor flight and made the trip to Chicago or to Washington D.C., either the 3-day trip for Lake County Honor Flight or the single day that Stars and Stripes and some of the other organizations do. Please, the veterans have earned it. I don't care what war they served in or if they did not serve during wartime. They still, by serving our great land, have earned the privilege and the right to take those trips. So please contact your local honor flights and get them involved as well. And also, again, as I said, we want to thank MLS Auto Clinic and Game Day Men's Health, who has come on board, who have their facility in Vernon Hills, and will have their new facility opening up soon in Kenosha. So we want to thank them for coming on board with us and joining us as well. So we're now going to bring in Eric Wilkie. Eric Wilkie's had a lot of success lately in race cars, and congratulations, Eric. Usually when I chat with you lately, it's in Victory Lane somewhere. Done it a couple times now at Wilmot and even up at Angel Park. So congratulations on your season, not only this year, but the last couple of years, and welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you for having me. We've been pretty fast lately with the wingless cars. So yeah, it's feeling good. Hopefully we can, stay fast for this Friday.
Yep. Now this coming weekend, it's a doubleheader show for the Autometer powered by Wisconsin wingless sprint cars at Wilmot. They're the support class to the NOS Energy World of Outlaw sprint cars that'll be racing both Friday and Saturday. And I know when we spoke to you last, you weren't quite sure about Saturday because you've also been running an MSA 360 sprint car on a pretty regular basis and doing well with them as well. You've done pretty good with them. So what is Eric Wilkie's plan for this coming weekend?
This weekend we'll be at Wilmot on Friday, and then we're gonna go to Plymouth on Saturday, and then we actually have to race at Angel Park on Sunday with MSA. So the goal from the start of the year was kind of run all the MSA schedules to stay in their points fund. So we're gonna stick to that. but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Friday. And who knows? Maybe if it rains in Plymouth during Saturday during the day, we'll go to Wilmot. So you never know. But yeah, the plan of right now is go to Plymouth. So
Now, for a driver, what kind of adjustments are there for you getting out of a wingless and getting into a wing car, or vice versa, getting out of the wing car, getting into the wingless? Now, when we saw you at Plymouth a few weeks ago, correct me if I'm wrong, you were doing double that night, weren't you?
yeah, Sun Prairie. I
Sun
couldn't.
Prairie, right?
Yeah, I couldn't make that last Plymouth race. I had to go to a wedding, but yeah,
A wedding. Wait a minute. You got to talk to these people. You don't get married during racing season unless it's on an off weekend or a rain out.
I know, yeah. But we'll actually be. I think the last Saturday this month, if everything goes to plan, we'll have both cars up at Plymouth. But as far as the differences, I don't know. I still don't feel very comfortable in the MSA car yet. You're just going. The pace is a lot faster. You got to keep it a lot straighter. I don't know. I just haven't gotten very comfortable in that yet. As far as the wingless, this is my 4th year running that, so I'm just used to it. You got to pitch it in sideways a lot sooner and use less brake. The wing car used a lot of brake in, which I'm still trying to figure out. So, but we ran Eagle River Saturday with MSA and felt like we figured some stuff out. So hopefully we'll get it figured out here soon.
How'd you do Saturday?
Started 11th, finished 9th. So
And,
it was,
and who
it was
won
all right.
it? You can be our reporter on Eagle River. Who won it? Do you recall?
Yeah, Bill Taylor won it. There was only 13 cars, but the weather was it said 80% chance of rain, from 4 p.m. till 11 p.m. Saturday night. So that scared off, probably 6, 7, 8 guys. I woke up, Saturday mornings being I don't even really feel like going because I thought we were going to drive up there and then get there and have to turn around because it was going to rain. But props to the promoter and everyone who showed up. It was a kind of a lighter field for all the classes, but they got it in and the track was great. So it was fun to race on a different track. So.
And you guys are going to be coming to Wilmot with the MSA toward the end of August, I believe. Is it the last Saturday in August, I think, or maybe the Saturday before?
The Saturday after Fair Night, the week after Fair Night.
Yep, actually, now I got it in front of me. August 23rd.
Yep, and then we're back there a couple weeks later, too, in September for the Fall Classic.
Yep, and the Fall Classic, you are there on Saturday, September the 13th, which is a fireworks night as well. On that night, part of the Fall Classic. So now you mentioned being with the Badger Midgets and that, and your family, the Wilkie family, is certainly known for being involved with the midgets and Indy cars, even for that matter, over the years. What about Eric Wilkie? Any aspirations? Do you want to give it a shot in a midget? Do you want to try an Indy car? Where's Eric at?
Obviously, yeah, I would love to run an Indy car, but it's not realistic. So our Wilkies are actually not related to those Wilkies at all. So Chris Wilkie is the son. And I forget what his dad's name is, but his dad and grandpa, I believe, are the ones who own the midgets and Indy cars. So I've met him a few times, but yeah, we're not related.
Just spell the name the same. And
yeah, it's funny. Yeah, they live in I think West Dallas, and we're out here in Waukesha basically, and yeah, it's funny. We're both dirt track racers, but yeah, no relation. So.
Huh.
But yeah, I would love to run a midget, but midgets, I hear they're really hard to work on. So I don't think I would ever own my own midget. But yeah, I would like to try midget, I guess, sometime.
Now, when you're running an MSA car and the wingless car, do you own both of those cars? Or are you driving for different car owners, or how's that work?
No, they're both our cars. So yeah, we have them both. They're both at my parents' house in the shed. So yeah, we own both of them.
Now, on just less than a week ago now, on boy, it seemed like it's forever ago, on fireworks night and carload night at Wilmot. Had a great win. You did a great job, and holding off Adam Taylor. You talk about a guy that runs both midget and wingless sprint car. He hasn't run a wing car yet. So if you know anybody that's got a wing car, that's one of his bucket list things. He's looking for a wing car to drive. So, but tell us a little bit about the win last Tuesday at Wilmot, and also we had some concerns for a while in Victory Lane. You can kind of update everybody on how everybody's doing.
Yeah, for after the race, my dad or my grandpa and mom got tossed off the four-wheeler because my dad went over the cushion, which was probably a foot or foot and a half tall, but he didn't realize how steep it was. But yeah, my grandpa got some cuts on his face, but he's fine. And my mom, hurt her foot a little bit, but she's better now, or she's getting better. So, but as far as the race, yeah, we were lucky enough to start on the front row. It all comes down to qualifying, really, with the wingless series. So we've been able to qualify real good all year. So that helps a lot with starting up front. But yeah, we were able to start second, and I got the jump on the start and I just ran the top. I've gotten we found something with the car where I feel real comfortable up top on the cushion. So I just drove it as hard as I could, and kind of midway through the race, I kind of eased up a little bit, but then I saw Adam Taylor to my inside, so then I really got going after that last restart because I got nervous. I thought for sure he was going to get me. So, but yeah, it was really fun. Just pretty much driving it as hard as I could for all 20 laps. Yeah, it was fun.
Well, before we let you go, and again, we sorry we took you away from washing the car, but
it's okay. It's washed
now. But update folks on who you want to thank that get both cars to the racetrack for you, and your family, and that help you work on those cars at the track and during the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of work with two cars. But during the week, it's just me and my dad who do everything, wash and maintenance it. That's one nice thing about the wingless cars. It's a lot less work than the 360, and the 360 is even a lot less work than like a 410 would be. So that's nice about the wingless car. But yeah, I just have to thank my mom and dad, grandpa. He comes to most of the races, and then Brian Roker has been a big help this year. Scott Conger helps me with a bunch too. And then just my sponsors, Wilkie's Auto Service, which is my dad's business, Leduc's Frozen Custard, which is actually right next door. Steve Kinsey helps me a bunch. And then John, the Oaks family with American Advantage Insurance. And then the Barnhart family with B&K Electric. And then my friend Kyle, he makes all like my race day graphics with KF Creative Design. So yeah, just need to thank all those people.
All righty. Well, good chatting with you. We'll be looking forward to seeing you Friday night at Wilmot Raceway. Again, running with the Autometer powered by Gandry Performance, Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Cars as the support class to the NOS Energy World of Outlaws. And I know that's always a big night. The wingless guys love to run before a huge crowd. And, I know you'll be looking forward to that on Friday night. And we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Yep, yeah, definitely really looking forward to Friday. It's a privilege. We get all these World of Outlaw races in the area, Wilmot, Beaver Dam, Plymouth, even LaSalle. We get to run with them again in October. So yeah, it's really fun. One of the most fun nights of the year for sure. Looking forward to it.
All right, well, Eric, thank you again for taking the time. And who knows, maybe we'll be chatting again on Friday night.
It would be nice, but you never know.
All right, thanks again, Eric. Take care. God bless. Yep. Good night. That was Eric Wilkie joining us, and he'll be running this Friday night along with the NOS Energy World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. I want to thank, of course, Impressions Count that help us get on the show each and every week. A-Main Apparel and Diecast, the Tennyson family do a great job helping us out as well. And, again, Nielsen Enterprises, Also, just coming on board and joining us is Nikki Nielsen. And if you're interested in selling a home or buying a home or renting a home, you want to reach out to Nikki Nielsen. And we're going to have some more information about Nikki's involvement with the show coming probably next week. So tune in. Well, we're going to bring in a guy now that I always enjoy seeing and visiting with and getting to share the mic with. And this coming weekend at Wilmot Raceway, I'm going to get to do that. John Gibson, the longtime voice of the NOS Energy World of Outlaws Sprint Cars. Johnny, welcome to the program. Appreciate you taking time out of your quasi-vacation as you haven't had any races for a few days, and this is rare, I know, for you. But welcome to the program, and we're looking forward to just action-packed, a lot of fun at Wilmot Raceway this coming week with the Larry Hillerud Memorial Badger 40 at Wilmot Raceway.
Yeah, definitely so, Mike. Thanks for having me on. And it's been a little bit of downtime here, but that doesn't mean that I didn't go to races. I went and sat in the stands and was a race fan at Rock Rapids, Iowa on Friday and Miller Central Speedway in Miller, South Dakota on Saturday. So I added 2 new tracks to my resume. So I'm up to 405 different racetracks on which I've seen competitive racing, but can't keep me away from the racetrack, even though it's not with the World of Outlaws. But we turn our attention now to some big nights coming up. It starts off actually Thursday night. I'm actually here at Deer Creek Speedway right now, where we race on Thursday, first time in 8 years. And then, of course, over to Wilmot for the Larry Hillerud Memorial Badger 40, 2 big nights of action. And, of course, when it comes to the World of Outlaws at Wilmot Raceway, names you need to think of: David Gravel and Carson Macedo.
That's for sure. And you mentioned going to a new track. Well, I went to Chicagoland, and for the NASCAR races over the weekend, had never been down there for the races, and had watched them, and it was definitely a different experience, as you can imagine, not seeing the cars all the time in front of you, but it was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy it. Spending the 2 days down there with my wife Kathy and 2 friends of ours. We had a good time. It was very toasty on Saturday, but then Sunday, when the front came through, it got a nice breeze, and they got the race in just before Mother Nature said, "Okay, it's time for you all to have a shower." And we got that right afterwards. But ironically, you mentioned being in Minnesota. I ran into a gentleman on Saturday who is from Minnesota and actually knew where the racetrack is at that you're at as we speak, and is planning on coming to the race on Thursday night. So you never know who you're going to run into at a race.
Very cool. Yeah, if you're in this area, it's very difficult to miss Deer Creek Speedway because it sits right alongside US 63. So it's a major highway that runs right in front of the racetrack. But I'm glad that we're going to have some good local support here on Thursday. Like I said, it's been 8 years since we raced here the last time, so should be a great night of action on Thursday. And then, of course, Wilmot always provides such fantastic racing. And one of the things I really like about coming to Wilmot Raceway with the World of Outlaws for the Larry Hillerud Memorial Badger 40, the way that they have built that event or are continuing to build the event, and the fact that every time we come to Wilmot, there's something new. There's some sort of improvement that's been made, and Wilmot really has made a big step forward into the upper echelon of dirt tracks across the country over the course of the last couple of years.
And that's for sure. And actually, and we didn't rehearse this, and I didn't give you the script to say, but I'm going to call Jenny Hesse, who is the Wilmot Raceway manager. And actually, we were going to get her on the phone tonight. So, Johnny, don't go anywhere. You and I get to double team her. But she's going to join us on the phone and give us an update. There's a lot of activities also, off-track activities, that are going to be taking place at Wilmot starting Thursday. We're going to be watching you on the big screen at Wilmot on Thursday night while we're having a fish fry. So that'll be pretty cool. But let me get Jenny on the phone here. And as soon as she answers, we'll be ready to go. And Kent will let us know if her voice is loud enough, I trust.
Thank you for calling the Canush County Fair and Wilmot Raceway. This is Jenny Hussey, the fair manager, and you have reached your cell phone.
Okay.
The registered please call.
Yes, we know we've reached your cell phone. Well, hopefully she gets that and calls us back. So I'll just send her a quick text and we'll see if she replies. Anyway, on Thursday night, as I mentioned, there's a fish fry. I think it's from 5 o'clock till they run out of fish. And then they're going to have a big screen that's going to show the Dirt Vision broadcast from Minnesota of the World of Outlaws. And then on Friday, they're going to have some different events going on throughout the day on Friday. Oh, on Thursday, can't forget this, Bagos tournament. I'm going to have a Bagos tournament on Thursday night that's open free to the public, and they've got various prizes. Friday, they're going to have I believe it's Friday that they're going to be doing a little bit of a scavenger hunt for the kids during the day. And on Saturday, I know you know him well, Johnny, but I understand he only does this at a few select tracks. Wes from Living Like an Outlaw is doing a special event for Saturday afternoon at Wilmot after the pancake breakfast with the Anderson's maple syrup. The sponsors of Bill Baylog in the morning. So you go get your maple syrup and a car show. They've added a car show this year to that. And then in the afternoon, maybe you can enlighten folks a little bit on what Wes is going to be doing.
So I don't know exactly what Wes has going on, but I'm assuming he's going to be doing some driver interviews because he's been doing that at, like you mentioned, some of our bigger stops across the country. And Wes is certainly one of those personalities that has become synonymous with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. So I'm sure he'll have plenty to do to entertain the folks there. And always has so much going on at that World of Outlaws souvenir trailer. For those of you that don't know, Wes Irwin basically is the guy that works in the World of Outlaws souvenir trailer, takes it up and down the road, gets it to all of the events, but he has his Living Like Outlaws page, and you follow him on social media. He has a huge social media following, and so I look forward to seeing what he does there. And again, I'm assuming he's going to be talking to some of the drivers because he's really gotten involved with that throughout the course of 2025.
Yep, I just did look it up here on Wilmot Raceway. And again, if you want to know some of the updates on some of the off-track activities, go to the Wilmot Raceway Facebook page or website. He's going to do the interviews from 2 to 4 o'clock and an auction. I guess they're going to be auctioning some items off with proceeds, I believe, are going to a program that helps to benefit drivers should they have any unfortunate circumstances while they're racing. Do you know anything more about that?
I would assume that's the World of Outlaws Benevolent Fund that
Yes,
has been around for a long time. And basically there to help provide for racers in case of an injury or an accident, and it's something that basically makes it so that they can't do what they do to put food on the table. That's drive a race car.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, and one other update here. This is important, probably for you, John, too, because you may change how you want to come into Wilmot Raceway. There is construction being done on Highway C if you're coming from the racetrack. And they have started the construction. So you may want to jog around, and if you're familiar with 173, take 173 down to Wilmot Road, come in from the south on Wilmot Road into town that way, because then you avoid Highway C, or you can just skip Highway C and take 173 to like 83 and go through Antioch and then jump on C. Then you're okay. It's going to be from the interstate right after you get off on the interstate that the construction is going to be going on Highway C. They just posted this like in the last few minutes.
I have not seen that. I'll have to see how it affects most of the race rigs. I think will be coming in from the north. Will be coming from Minnesota. So I think I'm trying to remember the exact route that we take. We usually come straight south, and then the racetrack is usually pit entrance is right there on the right hand side. So we'll have to take a look at that.
Okay, well, somebody that may be able to update us now is Jennifer Hesse. Jennifer has called us. Jenny, you're getting double teamed by two announcers here, Johnny Gibson and myself.
Awesome. Hi, guys.
Welcome, Jenny. We were just talking about the construction. Maybe you can enlighten us just a little bit. I just saw it very briefly on how it affects folks trying to come to the racetrack, particularly from the interstate.
Yeah, so my understanding is that between Highway 45 and Highway 83 is my understanding that they are going to have Highway C shut down, so you're going to have to detour a little ways around that. So you can still take Highway C from the interstate, but you will probably have about a 5 to 10 minute delay with rerouting around where the construction is taking place. But if you want to skip that, and depending which way you're coming from, you can get to Highway 50 from the interstate, and that's a straight shot to Highway W, and you don't have to worry about construction then at all, but that's your call.
Yeah, and that's like Johnny was just saying. I think that's the way a lot of the teams coming from the north might be coming in. So,
yeah.
I'm sure they'll all
That'd
figure
be a lot easier, and it's a lot easier to maneuver versus all the country roads, I would say, for sure.
All righty, sounds good. Now, we were talking a little bit, too, about some of the off-track events. I mentioned the fish fry on Thursday, and we're going to be watching and listening to Johnny call the races in Minnesota. He's already there, Jennifer, or Jenny. He's already in Minnesota speaking to us tonight. And then on Friday, I know there's a scavenger hunt, and go ahead and fill folks in a little bit more about Friday's events.
Yeah, on Friday, like you said, we're going to have the scavenger hunt. We're going to have some different contests going out throughout the day, so you can come out as early as you want. Concessions opens at 1 o'clock. And so then we'll have events throughout the afternoon, and then once races are over, we will be having a band playing in the evening in our brand new Creekside building with beverages and food for people to enjoy. It's called Bootjack Road, and it's a country band, and that'll be playing until close to wee hours of the next morning. And then the next morning when you get up, just the pancake breakfast from, I want to say it's 7 to 10, and that'll be Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup pancake breakfast with Bill Baylog present with his car and signing autographs and that kind of stuff. And then some little odds and ends stuff throughout the day again with contests that will be going on, and then racing again on Saturday night.
And then
we have talked about, which is a 4-letter word that none of us want to hear, but we have been watching radars, and there is the potential for some wonderful RAIN on Friday. So depending on what that looks like, we may alter some of the schedule of how everything plays out. So just watch socials for that.
Okay, and then of course you're going to also, I know Rhonda Sexton is working very hard on that car show as well on Saturday. She's doing the fish fry on Thursday, and then the car show on Saturday that'll be taking place as well. And again,
we can listen to Johnny too. We're gonna have a jumbo screen with the World of Outlaws playing while the fish fry is going on as well, so people can watch the race and enjoy a fish fry with some music playing as well.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. So, and as always, folks can go to WilmotRaceway.com and the official Wilmot Raceway Facebook page, any other social media that they can check out for the latest updates.
Instagram as well. We are on Instagram as frequently updating.
Okay, sounds great. Well, Jenny, we appreciate it. We know you had a busy day today and a busy night. And you got a busy week coming up, so we'll be looking forward to seeing you on. I'll see you Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'll eat Johnny's fish fry for him.
There we go.
All righty. Thanks a lot, Jenny. Take care.
Yep. All righty.
Bye bye. Well, again, that was Jenny Hesse, who is the fair manager and the raceway manager at Wilmot. Well, Johnny, you can see they've got a lot of things going on at Wilmot. A new building that has gone up in about the last 90 days, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
well, and that's just one of the things that I was alluding to earlier, that every time we come to Wilmot Raceway, there's something new. There's some type of improvement that's been made. And I think that, again, Wilmot has really, really stepped up their program. And I know a lot of the teams for the World of Outlaws really look forward to coming to Wilmot. And the Larry Hillerud Memorial Badger 40 is building more and more toward becoming one of the premier events on our schedule.
Yeah, and then your late models now. Last year, Mother Nature not cooperating. They got rained out on a Monday night. This year, they're going to try it again. on it's actually coming up in just a few weeks, July 28th. And that's actually the next race event at Wilmot. The July 18th to the 20th is the Doss Festival of Wisconsin, which is like a German fest. And so for 3 days, they're taking over the fairgrounds, they're taking over the racing facility, the grandstands, everything. So no racing after the World of Outlaw weekend until the World of Outlaw late models that come in on Monday, July 28th. So, and again, tickets are available. SLS Promotions, correct, Johnny, for the doubleheader this weekend?
Right. SLSpromotions.com is where you get your tickets to see the greatest show on dirt at Wilmot Raceway.
And for the dirt late models, do you know offhand what their website is? I know I'm throwing you a little curve, but maybe you know.
I do not. I'll have to look that up.
Okay. Sorry, Johnny. But I know probably just go check out World of Outlaw late models, and I'm sure there'll be some kind of link there. Well, let's get back to racing a little bit here, Johnny. Who are the big guns this year that have really been running strong, looking strong, and doing well? You just got off a 2-day show right up at Cedar Lake a couple weeks ago.
Right. Coming off the 2-day show at Cedar Lake, and David Gravel has been the man with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series so far in 2025. The Gravel has really pushed the points lead now. I'm taking a look at the point standings now. A 184-point lead over Buddy Kofoid. Last year's Rookie of the Year has now worked his way up into the second spot in the point standings. And then Carson Macedo third. But again, we talked about the success that David Gravel and Carson Macedo have both had at the Wilmot Raceway. Macedo winning 4 of the last 5 World of Outlaws races there. And then David Gravel doing 3 in a row in 2014, 2016, 2017, and then picking up a win again in 2020. So the World of Outlaws points leader certainly knows his way to victory lane when it comes to Wilmot Raceway.
That's for sure. Now, coming into Wilmot, we just mentioned and talked about Bill Baylog. Of course, Bill Baylog, a 10-time IRA champion. And he was technically a rookie with the World of Outlaws last year and had a really strong season. And he is doing well this year thus far on the World of Outlaws circuit. Give us a little update on Bill.
Yeah, Bill Baylog, a 2-time winner this season with the World of Outlaws, to give him 3 on his career, and just came off a huge victory, maybe the biggest victory of his sprint car racing career, picking up one of the nights of the High Bank Nationals at USIT Speedway. So Bill Baylog certainly has thrust his name to the forefront when it comes to World of Outlaws racing, and I think that Bill should be very excited about coming to Wilmot Raceway, where he has had so much success in the past, and maybe looking for win number 3 on the season.
That's for sure. And, I know now that, sprint car racing, we had Steve Sinclair on a few weeks ago. Very rightfully, he was inducted into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame in Knoxville over the week after Memorial Day weekend. And, he was talking about how there is so much sprint car racing in the state of Wisconsin. I mean, sprint cars began in Wisconsin at Wilmot, with the bumper-to-bumper IRA sprint cars, the late Ray Toft, the late Junior Dodd, and Whitey Harris. They formed the IRA that eventually formed sprint car racing in Wisconsin at Wilmot. Now you've got it popping up here and popping up there, and you've got this series and that series. What and John Gibson taking off your world? I know it's kind of hard, John. And I run into the same thing, but take off your World of Outlaw hat for a minute and put your race fan hat on. Where do you see sprint car racing right now, and where do you see it kind of headed with there being so much in some small areas sometimes?
Well, I think one of the things that you see when it comes to sprint car racing in Wisconsin, I think it's kind of moving up there on Pennsylvania, Ohio, California, the places where the local support is so strong that it can support a number of events. And that's what we're seeing. Look at how many World of Outlaws races we have in Wisconsin in 2025, with the 2 nights at Cedar Lake, 2 nights at Wilmot, Plymouth, Beaver Dam. We got rained out at Sun Prairie, but we're coming back in October. And again, the fans there turn out to see sprint cars. They have some of the most passionate fans that we encounter anytime we travel throughout the United States. So I think Wisconsin is kind of a microcosm of what we're seeing overall with sprint car racing in 2025. I think there's definitely an upsurge going on, and I think that the future is very, very bright, both overall and for the state of Wisconsin.
That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. And Travis Arons, picking up that win, at 141 raised a lot of eyebrows. And when you have a local, last year's IRA Rookie of the Year, and he beat some of the top sprint car drivers in the country, at 141. Do you see that? You mentioned the local guys supporting. Do you see that sometimes as a slight advantage or any kind of advantage at all for the local drivers when they take on the traveling guys, when they run that track 5, 6, 7, 8 times a year and the traveling guys run it twice?
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a home field advantage for the local guys, and again, you see things like what happened at 141, and you see that in Pennsylvania last year. We had TJ Stutz beat the World of Outlaws at Williams Grove. So yeah, anytime a local driver can upset the big dogs, as a lot of people would say, I think that just adds to the excitement level, and again helps to bring out those tremendously passionate race fans.
Well, last year we had a lot of fun. We were down there at the dirt track at Route 66. Now this year, that event has essentially been moved to LaSalle, correct?
Correct. Yep. And that'll be the night before we race at Sun Prairie. So that'll be LaSalle on Saturday. Then we come back to Sun Prairie. Give me just a second to pull up the dates on those. Looking at my handy dandy schedule here. And the dates on that will be October 18th, Saturday at LaSalle, and then Sunday, October 19th at Sun Prairie. So, again, a second trip to that area of the country in October. And I'm really looking forward to getting back to LaSalle, too. It's been a long time since we've been there as well. And that is a very exciting bull ring. So that should make 2 nights in a row of really close quarters action for the World of Outlaws.
Yeah, I watched the Hell Tour race from there the other day, and they have done, the Izzos have done it along with another partner. I'm forgetting his name right now. They have done a tremendous amount to that facility, and it just looked fantastic, even on Dirt Vision when I was watching the coverage in that. It was some great racing, very, very well prepared track, and a great turnout. You talk about fans. I mean, the place was packed.
And it is so difficult to basically resurrect a racetrack that's been sitting dormant for so long. And again, I think they've done a fantastic job. And having the World of Outlaws there will just continue to make that resurrection grow.
That's for sure. That's for sure. You mentioned some of the young guns that are running with the World of Outlaws this year. Who are some of the young guns that we might see possibly pull a upset at Wilmot this weekend?
We have the largest Rookie of the Year class that we have ever had in the history of the World of Outlaws. We have 7 drivers contending for that Kevin Gobrecht Award. And looking at the drivers, we've got chasing that battle this season, Chris Windham, who is a multi-time USAC champion. He is right now leading the battle for the Kevin Gobrecht Rookie of the Year Award. But Garrett Williamson is right there with him, Cole Macedo, Hunter Schoenberg, Zach Hampton, Skylar G., Connor Morell, all of those drivers World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year contenders in 2025. So again, I think that speaks to the health of the series when you've got 7 teams coming out for the first time to compete with the greatest show on dirt.
Oh, that's great, and that tells you too. Back to our previous discussion, that tells you a little bit about the state of sprint car racing. If you've got teams, drivers, marketing partners that are investing in a sport, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. So again, I'm just very, very optimistic about the entire state of sprint car racing in 2025. I think it is a tremendous upswing. I think we're seeing something like we saw in the late 1990s and early 2000s when a lot of the NASCAR tracks were building dirt tracks in conjunction with the NASCAR events there. Maybe not so much on that side of things, but I think you're just seeing a lot more eyes on sprint car racing, and with good reason, because in my humble opinion, it is the most exciting form of motorsports in the world.
Well, and then, this last weekend, I mean, I was sitting there as the lineups were going by and visiting with a lot of folks that were, watching in turn two, like I was down there at the NASCAR race. Chip Bell has run with the IRA and run with sprint cars. Of course, Kyle Larson has run with the World of Outlaws and as well as his own series, that he's working with. And you see a lot of those drivers going by, and it's kind of cool to see them because, once in a while you're going to see them on a Saturday night or Tuesday night or whatever night of the week because they love racing and they love sprint cars.
Yeah, definitely so. And again, I can't help but be extremely thrilled about where we're at and what the future holds for sprint car racing and the World of Outlaws.
All righty. So, well, we got just a couple of minutes left here. And of course, NOS Energy Drink is the major supporter of the World of Outlaws. But just like I give the drivers a chance, Johnny, I'm going to give you a chance to get any other marketing partners out there that you need to get in there for the World of Outlaws.
We have got so many great partners that help present the greatest show on dirt. It comes from the time the cars first come on the racetrack with Wedge High Performance Carts Hot Laps. Then we have Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, NOS Energy Drink Heat Race number 1, Real American Beer Heat Race number 2, Wix Filters Heat Race number 3, the Greatest Store on Dirt Heat Race number 4, the Microlight Last Chance Showdown and the NOS Energy Drink feature. Also, drivers competing for the Simpson Quick Time Award, the Smith Titanium Break of the Race Honors, and the KSE Hard Charger Award. That's just off the top of my head.
You did pretty good there, Johnny. You probably say those in your sleep. One last thing before I let you go, though. How's your kitty?
Claude is fantastic. He is... I thought maybe he'd get on camera, but he just had his evening meal, so now it's time for a rest.
All right. Well, Johnny, I always enjoy visiting with you. I'm going to enjoy working with you on the mic this weekend. I'm going to have a lot of fun at Wilmot, and that 4-letter word that Jenny was talking about earlier, that's going to come overnight while we're all sleeping. We're not going to worry about that during race time.
Exactly. Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. Thanks a lot, Johnny. We'll see you Friday.
Mike, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Take care. God bless. We'll see you. Appreciate you. Johnny Gibson, the voice of the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. And I'm looking forward to working with Johnny this coming Friday and Saturday at Wilmot Raceway for the annual Larry Hillerud Memorial Badger 40 for the NOS Energy World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. I'll be calling the Autometer powered by Gandrud Performance Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Cars. A lot of other off-track activities going to be going on all day Thursday, starting Thursday, going throughout the day Friday and Saturday. Check out WilmotRaceway.com or the Wilmot Raceway Facebook page or other social media for the latest updates. We appreciate you coming on and joining us on a different venue and a different night on Monday night. We thank all of our marketing partners that are supportive of us, and we look forward to seeing you at the races this coming Friday and Saturday at the Wilmot Raceway. Until next time, this is Mike Babicz wishing you a pleasant evening, the best of tomorrows. Remember, kids, just say no to drugs. Thanks, good night, God bless, and let's go racing, everybody.